Perfect, there we go. Alrighty. So everyone can find a comfortable position for themselves. You can either like sit on your legs, or you can do cross-legged. That's totally up to you. Whatever feels more comfortable, and at any point, like I said, if anything ever hurts, you can always just come back to a sitting position and breathe. That is perfectly fine. Okie dokie. So get yourself into a comfortable space, and then I invite you to like either soften your gaze or you can close your eyes, and we're going to focus on our breath here for a few minutes. It can help if you want to have like one of your hands on your belly just to kind of feel the breath, because when we're breathing we want to think about breathing into the belly first, because this is what we learned when we were kids, but we kind of unlearn it as an adult because we become more stressed and we start having more of a chest breath. But actually having that deep belly breath will calm down your nervous system even more. So we're going to start with something that's called the box breathing. So we kind of want to inhale for 4 seconds, hold it in for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold it for 4 seconds again before we restart that cycle. So we're going to do it together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And then one deep breath in and exhale. And we're going to get started with our shoulders a little bit. Put both of your hands on your knees. And we're just going to start rolling our shoulders from the back to the front. Think about making it nice and slow. Just really trying to get as big of a movement as you can. And then the other way around. Especially if you're doing this after a long day or early in the morning, it might be a little crunchy. There we go. One more roll. And leave the shoulders away from the ears, so keep them nice and low. And then we're going to do some neck rolls. So we're going to have our chin going towards our chest and just start slowly going from side to side. Start very small, little movements. And then slowly you can get bigger. Kind of having the tip of your nose going from shoulder down to shoulder and back. Do this for a little bit and just really try to let go of your neck a little bit. We don't want to push it into a position. We're trying to relax it right now. Make it nice and slow. Try to feel every little movement in your neck as you're moving. And then you can either stay here, or if your neck feels okay and it's not too stiff, you can try doing the full round. So think about that going all the way over the back, over to the other side, the shoulder, down, shoulder, and up. And really taking your time here with this. Especially with the neck. It's usually already already sore as it is, so we don't want to add any more extra tension to it. And then if you're doing the full circle, change direction. More circles. Remind yourself of breathing into your belly. And then when you arrive down again, put your head back into center. And then we're going to do just a little bit of a shoulder shrugs. So basically the idea is you want to put your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Hold it up here, and then with your exhale you just drop them down. And inhale up again, hold it at the top, and exhale down. 2 more times like that. Inhale up, and hold, and drop. 1 more. Inhale up, hold, and drop. Very good. Now we're going to go more to the side of our necks. So have your head tilt over to the right, so your right ear wants to go to your right shoulder. Keep the head tilted forward. And then you can think about really just relaxing into it. We don't want to like push it or pull it down. We just want to like let it hang as much as it wants to. And then optional, you can make it a little bit deeper with like placing the right hand onto that left ear that's on top. Yeah. There you go. And here again, it's important, like this is just to add a little bit of weight. It's not to pull the head further down. Open the chest a little bit more so you get that stretch nicely down here. And then with that left hand, it can just go onto the ground next to you just to get a little extra stretch if that feels good for today. Think about opening the chest again a little bit. You want to stretch the shoulder in the front and the neck. 1 more breath. And then you can slowly release everything, go back to center. And we're going to change directions. So the left ear goes to left shoulder. The chest nicely open. Hi, Erin. So left shoulder to left ear, and then if you want to, you can add that left hand onto the ear. And if you want even more, you can put that right hand onto the ground on your side. Feel a nice stretch in your neck. And then slowly release here as well. And just kind of roll out a little bit, shake it out a little bit, see what feels good. And then from here we kind of do like a cat-cow position that is seated. We're going to stay sitting. So basically the idea is like we want to inhale, we're going to put our fingers together, go up, look up. And then when we exhale, we're going to have our fingers like rotate and point forward like a little gun and just round the back. I'll just show you from the side as well. So the inhale is going to be up, gaze follows the hands, and exhale, you're going to point your fingers to the front and round that back. Okay. We can do that all in our own breathing rhythm. So think about as you inhale, you want to open up, hands open to the ceiling, gaze is following. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then when you exhale, you point your fingers to the front and around your shoulders and your back. Kind of want to look down at your feet. We're going to continue like this. So you inhale, come up. And exhale, pointing forward. Inhale up. And exhale forward. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. One more time up. Now we're going to stay here for a few seconds. So think about keeping your shoulders away from the ears. Engage your core slightly so that you're not overarching your back. Keep looking as much as you can, even just at your thumbs. And just open up your shoulders here. Think about the deep breaths into your belly. Few more breaths. Last one. And then slowly unleash the fingers, let them come down. Roll the shoulders again, shake the head a little bit from side to side. Just feel a little bit that how much we've loosened up everything a little bit now. All right, now we're gonna do one more thing for like our back and our shoulders. So now we have to come into the four-legged. So we're gonna do tabletop. You're gonna have hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath the hip. Okay, and then once we're ready, we're going to open up with our right arm all the way to the right side. And then when we're exhaling, we're going to come through, put that right hand in between the other arm, coming through like this. And then we inhale, we come back up again. And exhale, threading that arm in between. Yeah, very good. There we go. We'll do this 5 more times. And up, inhale. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time up. And hand onto the ground. Take a little breath here. And then we're going to change direction. So now we're going to take that left arm comes all the way up to the side, and then threads through the right arm. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, down and through. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. A few more. Inhale, exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more up. And now hand back on the floor. And we want to give our wrists and our feet a little stretch now. So I want to kind of tuck your toes under. And you want to slowly sink back with your hip towards your heels. And then as you're coming up, you're going to start sitting more and more back. You can think about like, it's basically stretching the back side of your feet here. So if it gets a little bit too much, you can lean a little bit more forward. If you want a little bit more, you lean further back. So while we're stretching your feet, we're going to roll our wrists a little bit. So just back and forth, little circles. Whatever works best right now. You can also have like the palms kind of following each other. Like you're doing a little magic trick. Rolling the other way. You can interlace them and just roll in and out. Change to whatever you need. Kind of squeeze and release, squeeze and release. Stretch out the fingers, rotate, roll. And then give them a good shake. Very good. All right. So now slowly come back to the front. Untuck your toes and just slightly start tapping them on the floor a little bit, just to warm them up again. And then from here, we're going to get into our low lunge. So basically our right leg wants to come up and in front of us. Okay, find a nice position for you, readjust a little bit, find something where it's comfortable. If at any point your knees that's on the floor starts to hurt, you can use your yoga mat, just kind of flip it over a little bit, make it thicker, or just use a towel or something like that. Okay. So to get deeper, you can just kind of interlace your fingers a little bit, put them in front of your knee, and just sink down a little bit more. So the idea is that our hip wants to kind of drive forward and down on a diagonal. And then just make sure with your knee that it doesn't fall to the inside or to the outside. We kind of want to have the knee lined up with our second toe so that it stays nice and straight to the front and we're not injuring that knee. And then I want you to think about with every breath, you inhale, you get taller, you exhale, you stretch further down and open even more. Slightly engage your core so that we're not overarching the back, but kind of keeping it a little bit protected here. Couple breaths here. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. And then from here, we're going to get into a runner stretch. So all we need to do is just extend the right leg and kind of push the hip to the back. So we're kind of getting a stretch here in the front. Now the toes can come up, right? And then you want to slightly lean forward, put your fingertips on the ground if you can. Keep the toes flexed as much as possible. Here we're really trying to get a nice and deep stretch in our hamstrings and the back side of our leg. I'm going to spend a couple breaths here, not too long. Think about straightening your back if you can. Toes are up. And then we're just going to get a little bit dynamic in here. So we're going to switch in between the first and the second pose. What that looks like is basically you're going to come up to the front. You can raise your hands over your head. You inhale here, and then with your exhale, you're going to push that hip back again. Toes come up, fingertips on the ground, exhale. Inhale, you come up, lift your hands, knees bend, hip goes forward. Exhale, we're gonna come back, knees stretching out, hip goes back, fingertips on the ground. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time up. Hold here. And then release your hands onto the ground. We're going to switch sides. So put the right knee back and the left comes to the front. You can interlock your fingers again, put them in front of your thigh. Think about opening up that right hip now. Check again your alignment. Is your knee straight? Is it falling in? Is it falling out? Which side is a little bit tighter? And just a couple breaths here. Breathing into that right hip now, kind of driving it forward and down. Couple breaths here. One more breath. And I want to get into a runner stretch. So stretch the leg all the way along. Fingertips onto the ground. Hold it here for a couple breaths just to kind of start stretching the leg a little bit more. Sometimes it can also help just to slightly adjust a little bit, move right to left, kind of like bend and unbend the knee a little bit just to like get your muscles to loosen up a little bit if it feels very tight today. I want to get into the dynamic version of these exercises. So when you inhale, I want you to come up and forward, let the arms rise over your head. And with your exhale, you're going to come back down, lengthen the leg, hip goes back. Inhale up and forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more up. Inhale and hold. And then exhale, let your arms come to both sides. Come back down, put your knee back. And then we're gonna get, just for a couple of breaths here, into our child's pose. So get your knees as wide as your mat. And then slowly let your hip drift down towards your heels. Let it come all the way down. And then your hands can slowly wander to the front of your mat. And we want to think about our forehead wanting to come towards the mat, giving the lower back a big stretch. slowly come back up. And then from here, we're going to come kind of into a sitting position. So you can come up like this. And then there's two options how you can do this. So you can either stay a little bit more upright, or you can actually also lie all the way down. It's totally up to you. Hi, Regina. So basically we want to put our right ankle onto our left thigh. So if you want to, you can start lying down and like later on come up to sitting, or you can sit for this one. But basically the idea is you want to have right ankle onto left thigh. And then the right knee wants to go away from us. And the left knee wants to kind of push into that ankle. And then from here you can either decide to stay here, or if you want to, you can come slightly up, press with your elbows into the ground, and just open up this way a little bit more. Take a couple deep breaths here. Keep your right foot slightly flexed. One more breath. And then you can change sides. So put that right foot down. And then the left ankle comes onto the right thigh. You can start lying down or already come up. Keep those left toes slightly flexed. Take a few more breaths here. Left knee wants to go away from you. One more breath. And then we're also going to release that leg. If you are up, come all the way down now. And then we're going to do some bridges. So to set up this properly, we want to have our feet walking so close to us that we can just slightly touch them with our middle fingers. Find a nice and stable position there. Keep them just as wide as your hip roughly. And then with your next inhale, I want you to lift and roll that hip all the way up. Think about pushing the glutes so that your hip rises upwards. And we're going to get a little bit more dynamic here. So when we're exhaling, we come down. And then inhale, push back up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push up. Exhale down and up, down and up, down and up. Last one. Down and up. Now hold up here. You can either keep it holding the way it is right now, or if you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can kind of like find your hands underneath your hip kind of get them together, interlace your fingers, and then you can slowly shuffle your shoulders a little bit closer together so that you're opening up more in the chest. So you kind of just want to wiggle around a little bit until you find a good spot where you're kind of like pressing against the mat a little bit with your shoulders. This way you're allowing your chest and your hip to open even further. If you want to do even more than that, you can get onto your tippy toes and push even higher. One more breath. And then slowly release anything, everything. If you had those shoulders tucked under, release them now. Let the hands unfold and then slowly bring that hip to the ground. And just take a little breath here. And from here, get your feet as wide as your mat, so just step them a little bit further away from you again. Arms can just rest by your side or on your stomach. And then we're going to have our legs kind of go from side to side like windshield wipers. So you want to think about both knees flipping over to the left, right hip slightly lifts off the ground, and then you're going to move over to the other side. Just kind of go back and forth here a little bit. So you want to go over to the left and the right. Knees go over to the left, back to the right, 2 more each side, left, and right, left, and right. Come back to center, and then from here kind of get your feet back into the middle a little bit more, and then we're going to extend the left leg onto the floor all the way along, and then that right knee wants to come over to the left so that we're kind of lying on our side a little bit. So the extended leg is on the bottom and the bent leg is on top. Left leg is straight, right knee is on the ground, and then you want to open up to the top. Just stretch yourself nice and all the way over from that right shoulder over your chest, your stomach, into the hip and the leg. Couple breaths. And then we're gonna bring that knee back to center. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So now the right leg wants to stretch out all the way along the ground. And the left knee is going to come over to the right side. So you're rolling over to the right. Right leg is straight. Left leg is bent and over to the side. And then just open up your chest to the top. The other arm can just be straight to the side. A few breaths here. Come back to center. And now we're just going to grab both of our knees, push them into our chest, roll a little bit from side to side. Kind of give the lower back a little massage here. And find stillness. One deep inhale. And then exhale, you want to stretch out the legs all the way long onto the ground. Let everything go. Relax your arms, your legs, your shoulders. Relax your facial muscles. Breathing deep into your belly. And just focus on your breath here. Slowly wake up your body again. Start wiggling your fingers, your toes, roll your wrists and your ankles. Start moving your arms and legs and knees and shoulders. Just wake up that full body again. Give it a little stretch. Maybe stretch your arms up like you're just getting out of bed in the morning. And then roll over to one side. Find your way into a sitting position, whichever one feels most comfortable for you. And I'm going to have a couple more breaths here. One more breath, arms out to both sides and over your head. So inhale. Hold at the top, and then with your exhale, bring those hands in front of your chest. Let your chin drop to your chest. One more breath here. And just try to feel how your body feels now after all your stretches, after making this time for yourself to show up for your mind and your body. And I want to thank you guys for joining me today as well. It was a pleasure having you here. No matter what time it is where you are right now, maybe just set an intention for the day. One little thing you want to keep taken away from what we've been doing here. Whether it's giving someone a nice compliment or not getting upset about something that you usually get upset about. And then you can slowly release your hands, open your eyes, and then we're all done. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Yeah. And yeah, let me know, like, you can send me a message, let me know what you thought, anything, how you felt, and then I'm looking forward to seeing you guys later today or tomorrow or whenever I see you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever you have. Okay, see you guys next time.